evening, everyone. So the augmented reality and artificial intelligence are influencing every aspect of our day-to-day life, and it has invaded the healthcare industry also with ever-evolving technology. So its use in the surgery has recently got FDA approval actually, and it is being frequently used in the surgeries of neurosurgery, ortho, joint replacement procedures. These adjuncts, along with the 3D printing, have now entered the armamentarium of HPB surgery also and has a huge potential from preoperative imaging, planning, intraoperative assistance to management of the postoperative complications also. So starting with the 3D printing, by 3D printing, actually a 3D patient-specific and pathology-specific model can be created based on the patient's preoperative images and converting into a specific format which is required for the 3D printer. A 3D model can be created of desired consistency, and that can be used. Various universities have shown that it is being used for the purpose of skill training, simulation of the simulation for the minimal invasive surgeries like creation of colorectal cyst model here for practicing the complex anastomosis, and even preoperative planning like in this case where they have created a model for the deeply seated precise localization of the lesion and for deciding the resection planes. Going one step ahead, if these models are injected with hepatocytes or extracellular matrix and are biolinked, then a cellular scaffold can be created, and with layer by layer printing, a 3D bioprinted model can be created, and from the Pittsburgh University, they are able to create these models of heart also. So these models will have additional benefit of testing the cellular functional assessment also, like testing for drug hepatotoxicity, in addition to evaluation of donor graft or its placement in a case like pediatric recipient. So validity of these is being tested and approved by this study, and in near future an artificial liver is also envisioned. However, as of now, this has some barriers like lack of standardization, and with the high cost and long time consumed for creation of a patient-specific model for every case. Now coming to augmented reality, here the basic concept is that based on the patient's 3D images and reconstructions, a virtual 3D model is created and that is imposed on the surgical field using a overhead projection, using one form of the projection device like overhead projector or head mounted device. But the coordinates or the anatomical landmarks of the model and the native liver or the organ have to be matched, and that is done by the registration and calibration process, and this is the key step which makes HPB organs difficult for the using AR, because it is not contained in the rigid bony landmarks unlike neuro and spine cases. Nonetheless, it is being used, and this paper from Spain, in this hospital, they have studied use of augmented reality for more than one period. 6 senior hepatobiliary surgeons were asked to use HoloLens, and they reported that it helps to improve the preoperative simulation, it helps in real-time intraoperative navigation also, and it is used for surgical skill training, as well as it has the advantage of remote mentoring as well. AR-assisted interventions can be done. In this CT-guided interventions, there are reports that it can be used and it leads to more precise or accurate targeting of the lesion with least of the deviation and causing least possible injuries, reduction in radiation dose and time. Extrapolating that to a intraoperative room, here the neurosurgeon is doing drainage of intracerebral abscess in this pediatric patient, which is AR guided. It is from one of the neurosurgery theaters of Mumbai. So over the last decade, there are a lot of researchers and surgeons who have used AR in open surgery. with the improvement in the technology using newer technologies, like using initially tablet PC and later on head mounted projection like HoloLens, Microsoft HoloLens, and also have reported improvement in the outcomes as well. As expected, it has a great or exponential role in minimal invasive surgery, and people are using AR in the minimal invasive surgery also, where a 3D image, the virtual image can be on a separate monitor, and then that can be brought to the operating monitor, and it can be fused. Initially, it used to have a computer assistant, or it can be done automatically also, and thus it can be used in the laparoscopic as well as in the robotic surgeries for targeting a deep-seated or when the resection planes are difficult. So subsequently, many authors have reported use of intraoperative HoloLens and HoloLens 2 or any other that is from Microsoft or any other company's device in complex HPB surgeries, including pancreatic surgeries as well, and they have reported it having beneficial effect on better spatial awareness particularly. However, till now, it is the superimposition and not really navigation. But what we would like to have is like real navigation, what we use while driving a car. And as a surgeon, we would desire to have some navigation system which intraoperatively will take us to the shortest and safest dissection planes, and to avoid the accidental injuries to the surrounding organs. And that requires continuous tracking, calibration, and registration process. So that is also being used and being tried, and now the devices can be tracked. Initially, it was for the help of locating the trocar placement, but now the devices, all the surgical instruments and the harmonic and the graspers can be tracked, and the real-time movement can be seen. I came across this video from a hospital in China, where they are using real intraoperative navigation using augmented reality, and after 3D reconstruction of the images for intraoperative procedure, they have created this navigation system where the vessels can be projected and the instruments are also tracked. So real-time movement of the instruments can be seen, and that can give us precise and exact location and relation where the instrument is and where the surrounding structure like portal vein or the branches of vein are there. Even for intraparenchymal transections, smaller segmental branches of the veins can be delineated, and the intraoperative navigation can be achieved. They studied it for 16 patients, and in 5 out of 16 patients, they reported that it gave them added information over and above the existing technologies like IOUS and ICG. Now coming to artificial intelligence, use of AI in surgery. There are various tools, and the use of them has been very much tested in HPB surgery also. Using machine learning and natural language processing tools, people have studied to predict the post-operative complications, or they are using it for early detection of malignant lesions, or to predict which lesions may turn into malignancy, like in IPMN settings. A lot of work has been done on cholecystectomy surgery and to achieve safe callots dissection. When thousands of videos of callots dissection are uploaded and are annotated and labeled, then with the deep machine learning tools, the computers can automatically recognize the critical events in the dissection, and then they can highlight any unsafe dissection and may alert the operating surgeon. Its use is extended to liver transplant also, where in pre-transplant setting it helps for the donor evaluation, allocation of the organ and donor to recipient organ matching, and in post-operative cases it may help to predict the graft survival, the patient survival and recurrence also. So these AI systems are based on large data and the data which is labeled and annotated. Because the machine learning systems are trained to recognize patterns from that data, and then they continuously adapt to novel data, and then they can modulate the analysis and give the results. So here we can contribute by collecting large data, by collecting our videos and then annotating and labeling them, and then collaborating with others and in the multi-centric trials, so that there can be evolution in the use of AI in HPB surgery. With this, in future, we can even expect, or we can look at having some automation, just like automated cars. There can be automation there can be automated augmented reality as well. Thus, to conclude, AR and AI are emerging fields along with the 3D printing. They are promising in terms of preoperative planning, simulation, and skill training. AR navigation is very much possible, and if we use it, it will definitely help in our minimal invasive lab and robotic surgeries. And these can be applied in future to improve the results of HPB surgery. Thank you and regards from our twin institute, that is the St. Medical College and KEM Hospital, which is celebrating the centenary year after 100 glorious years of patient service. Thank you.